look like I have a high body count, and I don't dress like I have a high body count. And I don't wear my hair like I have a high body count.
Do you think my hair looks cheap?
It looks so pornish.
Do you really need it? You think my hair looks
That looks like high body count hair. This does not, that does not, that does not. That's high body count hair. That's a high body count dress. Those are high body count heels. If you're going to call me slutty, I think I look like a mother.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Janelle, with this week's recap of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We're on season 5, and this is episode 12. Well, guys, we're almost there. I would say we're 3/4 of the way through the season. It's usually anywhere from 14 to 18 episodes. For Salt Lake City, I'll probably say a good 16. So we probably have 4 more episodes to go before the end of the season. We'll see. It could be 18 episodes, but I'm assuming it's going to be about 16. Because that's like the norm nowadays. But anyway, this scene opens up. We see Heather. She's practicing for her bar mitzvah. I learned something this episode. I always thought they were all, bar mitzvahs. But I learned that the female version of it is the actual called the bat mitzvah, but it's spelled B-A-T. So I never knew that. So we see Heather's practicing. She's also letting us know that she wanted to affirm her Jewish beliefs and make it official. She's always, followed the Jewish religion, but she was never officialized, bar mitzvah, to make it official. We see her family's there. We see her mom, her sister, and even her oldest son, Reed, showed up to celebrate her, and that's great, and I was happy for her. So now later on, we see Heather and her daughter Georgia arrive for the actual bar mitzvah. Heather lets us know that growing up in Salt Lake City as a teen, she attended a lot of bar mitzvahs and she has a lot of appreciation for the Jewish culture. But she says that the Jewish community in Salt Lake City is so small that, it's hard to find it. So she's actually happy to enjoy this as an adult. So now we see she goes to order an espresso martini. So she's back on the espresso martinis train because the last time she had espresso martinis, she didn't handle it too well. So she says she's back and she's better. So now we see Bronwyn and Todd arrive, followed by Lisa. After that, Justin and Whitney arrive. And Heather lets Justin know that she's on her second espresso martini. We see Brittany arrives. And Whitney tells her how she's getting more experimental with her, nails and stuff. And they're looking at each other's nails. She's looking at her nails. So Bronwyn is over there ear hustling. And she's like, let me see. So Brittany shows Bronwyn her nails. So Bronwyn says to Lisa, do you wear your nails like that? With, gems and stuff on them? And Lisa's like, no, I don't do that. That's very Bridget Tunnel. So Bridget Tunnel means it's unsophisticated. So I'm like, Lisa, you calling somebody Bridget Tunnel? Not Miss Upstate New York. Anyway, Lisa is such a snob and it's not cute. Anyway, we see Maylee arrives with a friend, and then we see Angie and Sean are the last cast members to arrive. So when Angie gets there, we see Bronwyn looking at her mad crazy, so she's basically saying she don't got nothing to say to Angie unless Angie comes to her with an apology for telling her to shut the F up at the camping trip. So now we see Maylee, Brittany, and Bronwyn. They start the chat and someone asks about Mary. So now we show a flashback of earlier before the bar, earlier in the week, I guess, when it was Mary and Angie was asking Mary if she was going to attend the bar mitzvah, and Mary was telling her, she basically has to be there for her family right now and take care of her family right now, but she didn't specify, so Angie was asking her, what's wrong, girl? So, Mary started getting kind of, choked up, so Angie was like, I'm not going to pry, but whenever you're ready to tell me, I'm here for you, and Mary was like, I will, plain and simple. So now we see Mary, she's letting us know how she's still kind of, shooken and surprised and still in a state of shock after, that conversation with Robert Jr. and he let her know all that he was getting into. So she says that she basically wants God to show her the way and guide her through this. So now we see Bronwyn is telling Maylee and Brittany how all the girls talk about each other to her. So she know what everybody's saying about each other. And so we see Angie is telling Whitney on the other side of the party how Bronwyn kind of snubbed her. So now Brittany is telling Bronwyn and Maylee how she don't appreciate Angie basically calling her a slut, saying how she slept with 10 guys. And I'm like, all right, first of all, hold up, Brittany. She didn't say you slept with 10 guys. She said you slept with 3 guys, but go off. So Brittany goes on to say how she feels that she feels that Angie is accusing her of sleeping with all these guys because that's what she's doing. Huh? So you basically saying she's deflecting? In a lot of cases that be true, but I don't think that's the case here, girl. Anyway, and plus, anyway, Brittany, they showed the flashback when you was sitting there with Angie, y'all was having lunch or whatever y'all was having, and you was telling her you was dating 3 different guys. So, I don't get it. Anyway, so now, Angie is also saying how she feels, Bronwyn is saying how she feels that Angie is extra and she does the most for attention and she's just always being extra and she not feeling her. And she says she also wonder if Sean even knows that he's married to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Side note, Angie, you look cute, girl, but this is a bar mitzvah. Why are you showing so much cleavage? She had on this dress that was very and it was just too much cleavage for this religious event. It was not appropriate, Angie. Sorry. I love you, but it wasn't appropriate. Anyway, so now we see Heather is introducing Angie to Whitney and Meredith's mother. She's introducing Angie and Whitney to Meredith's mother. Meredith makes her grand entrance and she enters on a sleigh. So her and the family come and everybody's applauding them. And I was asking myself, what is the temperature weather in Salt Lake City? Because some people had on fur coats. Some people had on jackets and heavy coats. Then we saw some of the women had on just sleeveless dresses with their backs out. So I was like, is it hot? Is it cold? What is the weather like? It's I was confused. Maybe they were indoors because I think I do recall hearing Meredith say something about sorry about all the snow guys. So I don't know if it was indoors and she just got a bunch of fake snow to give that they were outside. But based on how the people were dressed at the event, it looked like they were in 3 to 4 different environments. What's really going on? Okay? But anyway, so now we see Meredith. She's she don't understand why Angie wanted to come. But today is all about inclusivity, togetherness, and, positivity. So she's welcoming her. And that doesn't last for long. Anyway, so everyone goes to sit for the ceremony. They start the ceremony and they're doing a ceremony and they get to the part where they're what's the word? It's called a tallit, where they're putting a tallit over her shoulders. A tallit is pretty much like a religious scarf, a scarf that's used in religious ceremonies. It has fringes on the end, and they put it over their shoulders and put a clip. It's basically a significant part of the ceremony. And we see they show a flashback of 5 hours earlier of Seth giving her his tallit from his bar mitzvah. So she felt special because of that. So now we see they're doing a ceremony, and we see her doing her little saying words. We see that the family comes up and they start saying words. They're reading from I want to say scripture, but I don't know if that's what they call them in Jewish heritage. They was reading something from something. It was Jewish proverbs or whatever. And it was basically a ceremony. I don't know how Jewishes do their thing, but it was all basically if you're at church and they're saying scriptures or whatever. So yeah, take that as you want with it, okay? So now as they're doing it, we see Lisa, she's all crying and all emotional. And so now Meredith is going to give her speech, and that's when we see Mary arrive. So she says that she did decide she wanted to come and show some support because Meredith has been her friend for a long time, and she wants to show up for her. So she gets there late, but she doesn't know where the entrance is and how to get in. So she's looking through the window. So as they're doing it and they're talking, Meredith's looking through the window. So everybody that's sitting in the place, they're looking at the stage at the lady and Meredith up there, and behind them, they just see somebody, a figure in the window like this. So Mary's all looking through the window as they're doing the ceremony, and I'm like, Mary, this is a fool. All right, what is like, girl? So now she finally finds her way in, but as she's looking, you see Heather notice her, and Heather is saying to Brittany, "Is that Mary right there?" And they're like, "Oh my gosh, she is peeking through the window. Oh no, this is crazy." And she really was like, "Go!" I'm like, "Yo, it was so funny. You had to be there." I mean, the way I laughed. I think this is the part of the episode I laughed the most off of because it was really like a fool. So now she finally finds the entrance and she comes in right before Meredith is giving her speech. So Meredith gives her speech. Then she does like a hymn. And the family, I think that's when the family actually was coming up and saying their words. But she gave a speech saying how, she'd never been bar mitzvah. But she pretty much wanted to affirm her Jewish religion and make it public and make a public declaration. And she said basically, definitely at a time right now, with so much anti-Semitism, she wanted to come out and take a bold stance. And this is a time when we should all come together no matter what your religion is, your sexual orientation, or whatever the case may be. And it was she said some really positive words, but it's like your action didn't follow up with it later. But we'll get to that. I'm jumping ahead. So now, Mary, after she does her hymn, and the woman comes up and tells everybody, like, she's now bar mitzvahed, and everyone congratulates her by saying Mazel Tov. Everybody said it, and the lady was like, now it's time to eat. And I'm like, yes, girl, let's get to the food. That's what I was waiting for. So they eat, and I see a lot of different dishes, and I'm looking like, oh, I would have been walking around like this. That too. That, mind you, they had an open bar. They had drinks flowing. I was like, this bar mitzvah lit. Like, who's having one? Because I want to go. All right. So now, Heather sees Mary and Angie at the bar, and they start to chat. And after Mary gets her drink, that's when she goes to approach Meredith and to congratulate her and tell her she's happy for her. And she's like, but we do have to talk. I don't want to do it here or whatever because this is your special day and I'm not trying to ruin your day. But I do feel a way about you leaving my house that day. No one has ever walked out of my house, at least not a friend. And that really hurt me. So now Meredith is like, I'm sorry that I hurt you. And Mary is like, and you know what? I'm sorry that you felt unwelcome. You know what I'm saying? So they hug it out. And Mary is telling her, like, I love you. They're saying, I love you. And Mary lets us know she and Meredith have been friends for a long time. And she thought things through, and she really didn't want things to be like that. She really does care about Meredith. So they hug in, and they got to go have a drink together. And Mary has, like, it looked like some wine in her glass. So they go to drink together and do, like, a toast together. And Mary, after she drinks it, she's like, looking at the glass, and she's like, I don't think I like this. Mary, you know what? Sometimes Mary is just so unfiltered that it's like, she just says what she's thinking without thought. So anyway, so now Angie wants to pull Bronwyn to the side to go have a chat. And Bronwyn is giving like, girl, listen, this is a bar mitzvah. I'm not here for no drama. Don't come at me with that. So Angie's like, no, I know. I just want to, talk. So Angie says, I want to start off by giving you a compliment. Like, you look nice. I like your beads and your dress. I like your shoes. I like your bag or whatever. So Bronwyn was like, oh, okay, I hope this is all leading to an apology. So Angie's like, oh, an apology. Well, I was thinking the same thing. So now Bronwyn is looking at her like, wait, you think I owe you an apology? And Angie's looking like... So now I'm like, this is about to be a fall. So now they start to go back and forth. Angie is saying how she felt Bronwyn tried to like mix her words up and make it seem like it was much more than it was and cause problems between her and Lisa when they're trying to work on their friendship. And Bronwyn is saying she don't appreciate how Angie told her to shut the fuck up 7,000 times. Bronwyn, she told you to shut the fuck up twice, but whatever. It's like, girl, you're doing a lot right now, Bronwyn. So, yeah, they're going back and forth, and Bronwyn is saying how Angie was rude to her and nasty, using foul language. So, Angie is like, girl, I know you not talking because you always run around talk about fuck and dick and this and that. And Bronwyn's like, what you talk about? So, Angie was like, yeah, remember you was like, oh, I ride your dick. And they showed the flashback of Bronwyn when she was saying to Lisa, oh, it's supposed to be my job. I'm supposed to ride your dick like it's my job. And so basically they're going back and forth. And at this bar mitzvah, Angie just keeps saying, I just keep hearing fuck and dick. Because you say dick and fucking. And I'm just like, Angie. And people are looking like, and I'm not going to lie, Angie, you was like out of line. You were. This is good TV and good entertainment. But girl, what are you doing? Why are you using such foul language? Anyway, so they're arguing, going back and forth. So Todd comes over to grab Bronwyn and tell her, like, let's go, get out of here. So as he come, Angie is like, thank you. Hey, Todd. Angie's better half, much better half. Thank you, Todd. You're the best, or whatever. So now he's taking Bronwyn away. Bronwyn is mad at Todd because she feels like he took Angie's side, or at least he made it seem like it was okay what Angie was doing. And it came off as if he was basically like reprimanding her. So he's like, that's not what I was trying to do. That's not what I meant. So you can see Todd is frustrated now. And as he's trying to talk to her, Millie is just sitting there like, so Todd was like, excuse us. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry. Let me give y'all space. Like, girl, why is you... Oh, and she was really sitting there like... I'm like, girl, at least try to act incognito. You was right in their face like... Okay, he said that, and then what you about to say? So now... Angie is telling Sean what happened, and she's letting him know. So she calls Mary over. And she's asking Mary, does she perform exorcisms? And Mary is like, girl, no. Like, so now Whitney attempts to go and approach Heather to do damage control because she feels that Bronwyn also, remember Bronwyn last episode, Bronwyn was just dropping bombs, talk about Heather. Whitney was talking about Heather. And now Heather is saying she don't even know why Whitney is trying to come do damage control. She don't need to, because basically what Bronwyn told her, Whitney already said it to her face. So Bronwyn wasn't really telling her nothing new. And remember, Whitney don't fool with Bronwyn like that anyway, so she's not going to take what she say at face value anyway. So Heather realizes that Bronwyn is just basically trying to be messy. That's all, pretty much. You're telling her she said something about me to you that she already said to me, to my face. So you're not spilling no tea, honey. Okay? Because that's just like me. If somebody come tell you I said something about you, more than likely your response is going to be like, oh, she said that to me too. Because I'm not going to say it to nobody else if I can't say it to you. Anyway... So now Lisa comes over as Whitney and Heather are talking, and she tries to speak, and Whitney is like, Lisa, like, would you shut up and let me talk? So Lisa's like, don't talk to me like that. Who you think you talking to? And Whitney is like, every time I'm talking, you come and you start talking. So they start getting into it, and basically Whitney is telling Heather like Bronwyn is a liar, and she like mixed up her words and tried to like cause drama. And here go Lisa. She's like, you do be lying. You do say lies, Whitney. You do be lying. We caught you in lies. So now Whitney and Lisa are going back and forth. And now we see Brittany and Bronwyn, meanwhile, on the side. They taking selfies together and they're declaring this newfound friendship. And Brittany's like, come on, let's take a selfie before this is over with. Let's see how long this friendship lasts. So we see Brittany in her confessional. She's all jumping for joy. She's like, yay, me and Bronwyn are finally friends. I wanted to be her friend. I can't wait to see how this works out, how it is. So now, they're still going at it over the whole thing. And Whitney and Lisa and Heather are going at it over Bronwyn being a pot stirrer. So now at this point, Lisa's like, well, we need to just get Bronwyn over here. So now Heather goes to grab Bronwyn to let her know, like, girl, we need you over here to come clear things up. So now they bring Bronwyn over. So when Bronwyn comes over, Angie is like, Bronwyn, you going around, mixing our words up and making it seem like worse than what we're actually saying. You causing problems and starting trouble. So Bronwyn is going to defend herself, but somehow somehow Angie and Brittany end up getting to it because Angie still feels a way Brittany still feels a way about Angie accusing her of sleeping with 3 guys. But in Brittany's head now, she said 10 guys, so it went from 3 to 10. So now Angie's like, I didn't say you slept with 10 guys. And Brittany's like, yes, you did. And Angie's like, I said you slept with 3. You told me you was messing with 3 different guys at the same time. Or whatever. So they're going back and forth. So now Bronwyn decides that she wants to be even more messy. And now she's like, well, since I'm already being messy, basically, now she tells Angie what Brittany said. And she was like, yeah, she said the only reason why you accusing her of sleeping with all these guys is because that's what you're doing. So now Angie's like, what? Wait, you think I'm a slut? So now Angie at this point, Angie goes off. So now she's like, I don't look like I got a high body count. I don't dress like I got a high body count. I don't wear my hair like I got a high body count. So Brittany's like, wait a minute, you think my hair is slutty? So Angie's like, it's very much pornish, porn star, giving porn star. And Brittany is very offended. As we see, Lisa and Bronwyn is cracking up like just the Mean Girls is at it. So now here Angie's telling her, you got high body count here. That's a high body count dress. Those are high body count heels. So as she's saying that, Bronwyn is like, girl, you wearing Versace with your nipples showing, nipples hanging out. So now, in the meantime, while all this is going on, we see Meredith and Steph taking shots from, that thing at a party where it's like the alcohol in it and it's dripping down and you can put your cup and catch it. Meredith is doing it with her cup and Steph is like, no, this is how you do it, baby. And he goes with his mouth like to do it with his mouth. So now Brittany gets mad and she's like, you know what? Screw you, Angie. And Angie's like, screw you, slutty Brittany. So now Brittany storms off. She's mad. She goes and tells Maylee and Whitney, I'm leaving. And they're like, why? And she like, because I just got caught a slut. Like, Angie's telling me I got slutty hair, high body count hair, high body count heels, and all of this. So now Whitney is like, oh my gosh, Angie said that? So now Whitney goes to Angie to tell her, like, Angie, that's mean. What you doing? Like, she's crying. Whitney is crying. So Angie's like, she is? So I guess Angie starts to go look for her, I guess, to apologize. So she's back there crying, and as she's crying, Chloe and Brooks is like, what happened? Meredith's kids. So she's telling them, I just got told pretty much that I give off slutty, that I give off slutty vibes. So they're like, no, that's not true, or whatever. So, they go and tell Meredith, Brittany is in there crying. I think you need to go check on her. Brooks goes and tells Meredith that. So now Meredith goes to check on Brittany, and Brittany is the victim now, saying how Angie called her a slut. So now when they go approach Angie, I guess, is going to apologize to her. And Angie's like, you called me a slut. And Brittany's like, no, I didn't call you a slut. I don't know what set Meredith off, but out of nowhere, Meredith was just like, you call her a slut? I don't even know why you here. Get out. Bye. Huh? I'm like, wait a minute, Meredith. How do we go from 0 to 10 that quick? Like, you just got over here. You don't even know what's going on. Like, You invited her there to kick her out? What happened to positivity, togetherness, inclusivity? I guess it all went out the window. But anyway, so now, so Brittany, you see Lisa, she's telling Brittany like, oh, don't let her hurt your feelings. But then she gonna tell her, but you do need to get kerastasic thermatique. I'm like, Lisa, you a fool. This whole episode was a fool, I tell you. So now we see Meredith is telling security. She's like doing the most at this point. She's calling security to escort Angie out. She's like, you can leave. Bye. You're not welcome here. Walk out. Just making a scene, embarrassing her. It was so embarrassing. And not for nothing, I'm like, why didn't you kick Brittany out too? Because Brittany managed to play the victim when you the one that started this whole thing. So it's just messy. Meredith, I don't like what you did. It was just too much. Bronwyn, I was liking you. You came in with a bang, but I'm starting not to like you, Bronwyn. You coming off as real messy. And I don't like it. Like, before you was making a splash by just being you and being fabulous. But now it's like you're doing too much. You're trying too hard to make a splash. And it seemed more official and genuine when you were just making a splash effortlessly. And now it's just too much effort. You're becoming unlikable and you're just seeming like a troublemaker. And if you don't play your cards right, honey, these girls will drop you just like they did Monica, okay? So I think you better keep it cute, but Bronwyn, you're really becoming unlikable. I would go in on you, but I'm going to wait to see what else you do before. I'm going to give you some grace. But these last 2 episodes, you've been really rubbing me the wrong way, girl. Really. Like, doing too much. And Meredith, that was too much. You did not have to embarrass this girl like that. Why would you throw her out like that? And you could have been more discreet about it, too. So, Angie is obviously embarrassed. She's mad and she's like, oh, nice religious event you have here. Oh, and I bought you a gift. And when you came to my event, your tacky ass didn't bring me a gift. And Angie's mad. So they escort her out. So Lisa comes out to check on her. And as she's leaving, actually, security is trying to hand her a coat. And she's like, she's like, this ain't my coat. She grabs the coat and she's like, this is Brittany's coat. And she throws it on the floor. So now Lisa comes out to check on her and says, like, give her a hug. And Lisa says that she feels bad for Angie, but Angie doesn't never really see her part in things. She said Angie always sees the reaction, but she never see what she did for that reaction. So we see Mary come out to check on Angie to make sure she's good as well. Heather's telling Meredith she's leaving. Whitney tells Justin, come on, husband, let's go. So at this point, everybody's over it and ready to go. And we see Lisa talking to Meredith, telling her, I'll see you next week. Bye. And then they show like a flashback. And we find out that Lisa's planning a trip for the girls. And we see a flashback of her at home with John. And she chose to take them on a trip to Puerto Vallarta, which is in Mexico, I believe. Yeah, I believe it's in Mexico. At first, I thought it was in Costa Rica, but I believe Puerto Viejo is in Costa Rica, I think, and Puerto Vallarta is in Mexico. So that's where they'll be going for their cash trip. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, this episode was pretty good. The whole episode was pretty much based on Meredith's bar mitzvah. So yeah, everything happened at this one event. So we're 12 episodes in, like I said, guys. Let me know what you think about the episode. The funniest part to me was, of course, Mary trying to figure out how to get in and looking through the glass as they're talking. And I guess the most explosive and my favorite part was high body count hair, high body count dress, high body count heels. Yes, y'all. But anyway, I'm almost there, so I will be doing a Potomac's recap tomorrow. I watched it last night and enjoyed it, so I'm going to rewatch it tomorrow, like afternoon. And right after I rewatch it, I'll do my recap tomorrow, and then we'll be all caught up. All right, guys? Talk to you later. Smooches.